Here's why taking notes is absolutely useless. So 6 years of medical schooling taught me one brutal lesson, which is that note-taking is absolutely useless when it comes to knowledge retention and knowledge mastery. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story about how my first couple of months of medical school went. Throughout my GCSEs and A-levels, I relied on passive, poor techniques like writing lots of notes, rereading my notes over and over again, and lots of highlighting. The only reason I was actually successful in GCSEs and A-levels had absolutely nothing to do with the effectiveness of these study techniques and methods I was relying upon. It was actually more the willpower that I was putting in. I was just clocking in a huge number of hours and brute forcing, using my willpower in order to have those successful grades despite relying on these passive learning techniques. So what we want to do is move from passive learning techniques to active learning techniques. So in my first couple of months of medical school, when I was relying upon these same tired techniques of passive learning, which involved reading over my notes again and again and rewriting extensive notes over and over again, the knowledge wasn't sticking. So for every 1 hour lecture, it was taking me 3 hours to actually master the content using these techniques. It took me actually up until halfway through medical school to correct this, and when I moved from passive learning technique to active learning techniques, my results rapidly shot up. So here's the step-by-step technique which is powered by artificial intelligence that I've developed, that's going to radically transform your grades and take you from spending 3 hours on content and lecture to spending 70% less time on these techniques. So here's what I do. Let's say I'm learning a YouTube video or some sort of lecture. So step one, download the Chrome extension that is called GLASP. GLASP is a brilliant tool that's at your disposal. It will take your YouTube video and then transcribe it completely and give you the text spoken of in the video. So I'm going to say something counterintuitive for step number 2. Do not watch the video. I want you to take that transcript, put it into ChatGPT and write the following prompt. So the prompt should say, I want you to generate a comprehensive exam that tests me on every little part of the following transcript. And what you want to do is prompt it to generate an exam that mirrors the type of questions that you'll get in your exams. So in medical school, we used to have a lot of multiple choice questions and we used to have what we call SAQs, short answer questions. So if it was myself, I would prompt ChatGPT to generate an exam that tests every little part of the transcript and have a focus on the question style should be MCQ, which is multiple choice questions, and short answer questions. Then what I want you to do for step 3 is, without watching the video, actually attempt the exam questions. This is where you need a bit of a psychological switch. Especially during my GCSEs and A-levels, I would be very scared to attempt the exam questions or any type of questions before I had fully mastered the actual content. This is the wrong technique. What you want to do is keep failing on exams, keep failing all the way to the top. The reason for that is each time you fail exam questions, it will highlight to you specific areas of weakness. So once you do the exam first time, you will probably get 20%, 10%, 30%. It doesn't matter how low or how high it is, that's not the point. After failing the exam, then you will know which areas are the areas in your weakness. For step 4, you want to watch the video, and your mind and your brain will be naturally wired to look out and have an interest and focus, and will be keen on absorbing the specific areas of weakness as your exam paper highlighted. Then I want you to do the exam again and focus on obviously getting the questions right that you got last time, and then use this reiterative process again and again until you get a very good grade on your exam. So we've then moved from passive technique to active learning style. And for step 5, I want you to repeat that process again and again. So what you're doing is, instead of rewriting notes passively, which doesn't actually engage the brain, you're now doing something that's active, that's going to force active recall of the information, you're going to engage with the text better. This is going to be a bit more uncomfortable than what you're used to in the past, but direct correlation between how uncomfortable your study session is and your ability to engage with the knowledge and retain it. The more uncomfortable you are, the more you're going to retain the information. So this is a study technique you can use, which is powered by AI, in order to really absorb the knowledge and the content. So I've been your host, Dr. Salman Rahman. I'm a GMC licensed medical doctor. I got thousands of hours of using the wrong techniques across a decade's worth of studying. So my purpose in bringing you this series is to save you from many of the troubles I went through and give you efficient techniques that are going to put more hours back into your day so you can do the things that are truly important for you. Spending time with your family, spending time on your hobbies, and achieving that balance. I promise you it's absolutely possible to be a productive, high-powered, high-earning individual alongside having a balanced lifestyle. So it's about tapping into efficient techniques that are going to maximize your ability to retain information. If you like this video and you want further tips on study techniques that are going to cut your hours spent on studying by 70 to 90% as they did for me, please follow us for more.